Ah! Welcome to an ever so exciting episode of 406 Broncos, where we are just thrilled Broncos fans today. This whole week, in fact, we have just been so pleased to be wearing these colors, because how couldn't you be just a proud Broncos fan at this moment in time? Seriously, though.
Ran away with that one.
Seriously,
This is a repeat of last year.
Exactly. And gee, what is the one thing that we hold in common as last year? Coaching staff. We have upgraded on all of our positions. As far as the quarterback position, I feel like we have one of the best defenses as far as talent goes. And you're going to tell me that talent can't be productive with, somebody can. There's somebody out there that can make that defense productive. It's clearly not Joe Woods.
This is a good run stop defense. And then what did
we do?
What's their name?
Crowell and Powell.
Yeah, Powell.
Combined for 300 rushing yards. They were the worst rushing offense in the league up until then.
Oh my god.
300 yards.
And then that one throw.
Yeah, there's two. There was like two big throws.
How are they getting away with throwing it, or with just these big plays on the Broncos?
It's because Roby is not an outside corner. We've clearly learned that now. I think, there's only so much you can blame on coaching, because there's definitely some issues in the players as well. It doesn't help that, I don't think they're very motivated. And you know what? It was funny because I was just watching a thing with Jared Goff talking to, I think it was Scott Van Pelt, talking about, they asked, where does it all start? How do you get to be so motivated week to week? And he goes, well, I think it starts with Sean McVay, and it just trickles down to me, the quarterback, and then it just kind of goes through. So, yes, the coaching staff does, in fact, they are a huge, they're a big part in how the team, handles things from week to week. And clearly that's not the case. Like, if we're, like, on a losing slide, clearly the coaches aren't, uplifting these guys and making them believe that we can really win this next game. And guess what, everybody? In case you hadn't heard, we're up against the top offense this week. The highest scoring offense this week.
Not only are they the top offense, they got a killer defense.
Yes.
They've got all around the team out there. And they are number one, aren't they?
And if they're not, they're number two. What, their defense?
No, number one overall, ranked wise.
Oh, yeah, they should be.
And the Chiefs are number two.
Yeah. I mean, it's... This is kind of one of those games where I could see us maybe just, like, surprising somebody because they're underlooking us or something like that. But, I honestly almost don't even want that, because something needs to change. And if we win this game, it's not going to change, and we just know how it's going to go. Oh. Even if we win 2 games in a row, then it's just going to start falling to pieces again like it always does.
What did you say last week? That if we lose the Jets, that there will be some sort of change.
Yep, and there hasn't been. That's what I thought should have happened. I still believe that should happen. There's no reason we shouldn't have already heard by now that Joe Woods is fired.
Not only you, but most every Bronco wire, or most every other Bronco, what's the word?
Fan?
Media out there has been saying something
to the effect of change.
Yeah, of coaching staff.
But it's like, to me, go ahead.
I guess we're on the same page in saying the fact that we're kind of blaming a lot of this crap that's going on with the defense on Joe Woods, our defensive coordinator. I'm not seeing that anywhere else. Some people are throwing out the blame on Vance Joseph, John Elway. Get him out of there. I think let's start out with the guy who's controlling the defense. Vance Joseph, yes, I would love to see gone, but I'm at the point right now that Joe Woods is not our D coordinator.
He needs to go.
That is not the guy we need. No disguise with that guy.
I couldn't tell you who we should get, but I can tell you that Joe Woods is not the guy. He's been given plenty of time, plenty of opportunity, and one of the most talented defensive rosters you could ever hope to work for as a defensive coach, and he's completely bombing. Like, what more can you say? He needs to be gone. Like, I know Vance Joseph does not make the play calls. I know that. So it's not on him. Vance can definitely change the play, but he doesn't. So there is definitely a fault on Vance's part too. But if you're going to fire anybody at this moment in time, it needs to be Joe Woods. Because it's been going on since last year.
They really pressed the button quick on Mike McCoy.
I
got
think
Musgrave in. Why not Joe Woods? Is it because he's been with us for so dang long?
Or is there something like what do they see in him?
Yeah, I don't understand why we don't take the initiative. Because we got rid of our offensive coordinator last year, our special teams guy, and our D coordinator seems to squeak by. And that's the problem I'm seeing more than anything else right now, is the defense. And how dismal it happened on the Jets.
Well, how about
how did the Jets do that?
Well, and how about the fact that, I mean, yeah, the defense, that's a huge deal because if we're playing from behind, we're constantly having to throw. That completely changes our game plan. We are not getting any turnovers. We got a couple this time around, but those were both really fluky. But we're just not getting the turnovers. That doesn't help the offense. We're not stalling drives very quick. A lot of this is on defense, big time. And I full-heartedly blame the coaching staff because how can you blame such a talented roster? Like, I understand our secondary is not what it used to be, but every other aspect of our defense is great. I can point out specific pieces that we do that are causing us to lose. Why are we blitzing, full-on blitzing at the end of the football game, like against Kansas City? Why didn't we have? It was like what on that big long 30-yard or whatever play, and we blitzed. Why would you do a 4-man or even a 3-man rush and put full-on coverage out there? Believe it or not, folks, Von Miller can cover. He can back out into coverage. Chubb can probably do the same. They don't need to blitz all the time. I know that's what. Yeah, I know that's their specialty. But can you imagine how thrown off a quarterback would be if they saw Vaughn looking like he was going to blitz and then he backed out into coverage? That would completely throw them off. But guess what? We never do that. Why are we always constantly having to pull a safety in down low to the middle to cover the middle and leaving one safety out back? That's how we get burned deep. And then when we're running a 2-safety system with all-man coverage, we're blitzing 5 guys. So there's only 2 linebackers in the middle. And that's when we get burned up the middle. Every time. They can read us like a book. They know when we're blitzing. They know who's coming in. They can tell Vaughn's going to come in every time. Oh, so that side's susceptible because there's less coverage on that side. There's no disguises. And you know who that falls on? Coaching. Play calling. If we can see it, how do you think those guys see it?
Yeah, they're the professionals.
Yeah, I'm not claiming one bit to be a professional or to know anything of what I'm talking about. But it's so obvious to me as a fan who's been watching this game for a long time what good offense is, what good defense is, and we are not playing good defense. Blame Case Keenum for the stuff that he's been doing, sure. Yeah, he hasn't lived up to the money that we've been paying him and to the expectations that we've been asked for him.
All in all, he didn't have a bad game.
No.
He shouldn't. It was like right at the ending he got the interception, but before that there was no interceptions, and he got how many yards with 2 touchdowns?
Well, not just and people calling for his to be benched is wrong too.
Why are we not discussing more about the defense situation right now? Because we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now.
Yes.
But people keep going on the offense and like, oh, Case Keenum is not the answer we need. We need our defense back, man.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's what really helps it out is we need that hardcore defense we used to have, but
And I can tell you right now, if we lose, which our chances of losing, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Our chances of losing to the Rams is quite significant.
even at home.
And if we lose that, then guess what? We go on a short week on the road to Arizona. They're not gonna switch coordinators then. And and you know what? I guarantee if we lose to the Cardinals on the road, that's 5 games in a row. Yeah, head coach gone. Head coach Vance Joseph gone.
D coordinator first.
That's everybody. Everybody's gonna be just completely gone. There's no way they're gonna let us.
Sure? Are they gonna? They wouldn't keep like either our special teams. Who is
Well,
actually?
chances are they would make Bill Musgrave the head coach. That's what they'd probably do.
Okay, but you just said I
know I over exaggerated, I suppose.
But
they would probably make Bill Musgrave interim head coach.
The heads I would ask for would be the head coach and D coordinator.
Yes, 100%.
100%. I mean, I don't feel very confident with Bill Musgrave being our head coach.
I don't either, but he has been a head coach, so that's why he would be interim head coach. Unless maybe somehow they make Gary Kubiak interim coach, which I don't think that would happen. I think they would make. I would like that back. Though. Yeah, but I don't think it'll happen.
I don't want the. I guess it affected him with health reasons and stuff like that. The stress on.
Well, and he hasn't been working with the team all year as far as like directly. So they're gonna pick a guy that's been working with the team, and it'd probably be Bill Musgrave, just because he has had head coaching experience, and he would just interim out the rest of the season until we can hire somebody worth their salt. But moving forward, let's go to the upcoming catastrophe that we're going to be facing, which is the Los Angeles Rams and all of their might and glory.
What about them?
They actually did have a close game with the Seahawks. That is a divisional rivalry.
Divisional at Seahawks.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't really speak much about that as far as that goes.
Close with the Kansas City at Denver. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna check to see these. There was a couple injuries. So let's take a look. Brandon Cooks and
Cooper Kupp had concussions.
So that could definitely help. Not that I hope people get hurt, but you know what I mean. Like that could definitely. Let's see injury report.
Any injury report on?
For us, yeah, Bowles went out with an injury. I don't know what his status is yet, and so did who else went out? I don't remember.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. Cooks and Kupp did not practice. Greg Zuerlein, their kicker, did not practice. And then there's a bunch of other guys, but none of them were injury related. Oh, and here's the Broncos. Adam Jones, that was the other one.
Again.
Adam Jones, Darian Stewart, and Jared Veld here. That's probably... Oh, no. It was Bowles that went out, too. Those 3 did not practice. Garrett Bowles, Brandon Marshall, and Cortland Sutton were limited. What
is Garrett Bowles' injury?
Ankle. Veld here.
Knee. Is it
Stewart's foot and Jones's thigh.
Is Stewart gonna be all right?
I think so. I mean, I haven't heard anything like to be worried about as far as that goes. But I can tell you. Oh, and I did see today that Stuart Cravens might be back at practice after, like, into next.
Oh, we need something.
We need something like that, absolutely. And it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's too little, too late for our season. Absolutely not. But if we're gonna turn around, it needs to be now. And if we're gonna do it, it would be hell of a big step to beat these guys of all teams. You know what I mean? Like, crazy things happen. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that we don't have a shot. If we keep playing the way we are, of course we don't have a shot. Nobody has a shot if you play like we did on Sunday.
I hate the coaching staff.
And you know what? Real quick, let me just say something. I saw a thing that Derek Wolfe was saying about how the fans were calling out to the players saying that they weren't playing hard enough. That is crap. As much as I love Broncos fans, as much as I think Broncos fans are some of the greatest fans, we are so spoiled and so easy to turn on our team as soon as the chips are down. and I hate it. We're not ones like that. And yes, of course we've been the ones that call for coaches and call, but after watching a year and a half of it, then it gets a little bit old. I was willing to give Vance Joseph all the time in the world last year. Same with Simeon. I was very patient with Simeon. But at some point, you got to cut ties. Now, we lose 3 games in a row, and they're already saying that the players have just given up. That's crap. And if you want to see it, look at Derek Wolf's comments, because he nails it right on the head. But I just think, and I've gotten into it with a few Broncos fans calling for Elway, who
Really?
who just gave us a Super Bowl less than 3 years ago.
I don't understand that argument with Elway. Like,
he's delivered a lot for us.
He has delivered a lot. Like, I mean, the Peyton Manning, he delivered that for us, and then picked up a couple of other people to make us go to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, Gary Kubiak, who brought in Wade Phillips.
Correct, and that sealed the deal for Super Bowl 50 for us.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of things. Yes, Elway has done that.
Weren't the best decisions.
But all in all, 2 Super Bowls, there's teams out there hasn't even seen one.
Yeah.
In how many years football has been around? Has not seen one. And he brought us to 2 in the matter of the 5 years he's been working with us.
Yeah, and that's just his GM.
Yeah.
Let's not forget all the times he took us to Super Bowls as a quarterback. I get their 2 different jobs, but you can't just give the boot to a guy who's basically been your entire franchise. Like, it's like, okay, we're on a 3-year slide after our Super Bowl, and everyone's just like, oh, he's done. After everything he's done for us. That's who you want to get rid of? Come on. You're gonna you got to give him more time than that to figure all this out. When after the Super Bowl and you lose your franchise, your top dog quarterback, and then you lose your coach the next year, of course you're going to be in a bit of a tailspin. It's only like natural. Like, you can't bounce back from that like that. I know we all wish we could. I know we all wish we could be the Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers switch off. That would be great, but it's not all like that. So, and that's another thing. I remember times when people would boo Peyton Manning. How do you boo Peyton Manning? So it's like, I'm just going to give a quick call out to the Broncos fans out there. Be humble and be respectful to your team and back your team up and stop turning face the second we start falling down a little bit. Have some faith. I try as hard as I can. I know we started this segment off a little bit bummed out. Who wouldn't be? We lost to the stinking Jets. But I still have faith that we can win this week. I always have faith that we're going to win. Because I'm a good Broncos fan, not a spoiled one.
We're spoiled.
I appreciate the Super Bowls. I was so grateful for that.
You're talking a lot on this one.
Well, I am?
Yeah,
I'm
not
sorry.
even saying much.
I'm sorry.
I don't have much to say.
I know. It gets me heated up. But you're right. I was kind of talking about. Go ahead.
Well, okay. I'm just gonna say key matchups.
Oh yeah.
For this next game. And then we'll go down to our picks.
Yep.
Let's do those fast. Key matchups.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. Boy.
I didn't either. Well, it always comes down to okay.
It's gotta be
our offensive line against their defensive line. We've got to.
That's a big deal.
We've got to hold them back on us. We got to give Keenum some time in that pocket. He's got to read. He's got to find someone open. But that line needs to hold strong.
Yep. I'm going to put it on the Denver linebackers to stop Todd Gurley. You have to have a constant spy on Todd Gurley, no matter what. This guy will... You thought Bilal Powell and, Corral were bad? Here comes the number 1 running back in the league right now. You need to keep your eyes on him and stop that. We know we have been good at stopping the run before. We need to do it now more than ever. Yep. He watch him on the pass too. He's all-around threat.
So
Those are some big matchups right there.
So,
for sure.
okay. Well, you pretty much, I picked out the key matchups in the offense. You picked it out in the defense. So we're good there.
Probably, yeah.
Be a tough one.
Yeah. But like I said,
Let's see if that
stranger things have happened.
stadium holds out. I mean, there's a lot. This whole, season has been so up and down.
Well,
I mean, obviously you've got them top tier teams that haven't really been touched too much, but there is some teams out there that I cannot believe who they lost to or what the score has been at the ending. So we'll see.
Yeah. For sure. It's going to be at least it's at home. That's a big deal.
That is.
All right. Game picks. You go first.
Eagles. Eagle. At Giants. Eagles. They lost, but it was a very close game with the Vikings. They are a good team as well.
Mm-hmm.
But Giants, I don't know. They're kind of an up and down team right now. I said that last week. Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Eagles going to win this one. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay is kind of doing what we're doing, man. They started off hot and they're spiraling down. It's in Atlanta. I think Atlanta takes this one. They just lost. Bad or good? Was it? Yeah, it was a.
They had a bye, didn't they?
Did they?
They had a bye.
Well, they're off a bye week, so that's even more reason that they're gonna win. Falcons. Falcons.
Oh no! Oh, Falcon. No, Bucks had a bye week.
Yeah, Falcon. Oh, okay. Falcons just lost.
Yes, to Steelers by pretty
Yeah,
good
bad
margin.
one. I'm still gonna stick with that one. I think they're gonna bounce back.
I agree. I think Falcons will take this one too. I kind of had that same mindset you did. Bucks started out hot, but they're kind of spiraling down. Alrighty, Chargers at Browns. Probably a good game.
Yeah, this might be an actual pretty good game.
Yeah.
In Cleveland.
In Cleveland. Now, I think Chargers are going to take it, though. Chargers, they haven't been talked about much, really, at all. I don't see them
They're
in the
flying
news
under the
network,
radar.
but they're doing all right. I think they're better than us now in the division, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think Chargers have enough weapons to beat the Browns, so.
Yep, I'm going to go same thing. Browns are going to win that one for sure.
Browns?
Chargers. My pick is the Chargers. Chargers win it, but I think it will be a close game, actually. Let's see. Indy at Jets. I think that, you know what? I mean, the Jets have a big momentum booster after what they did to us. I think the Jets are going to take it another step further, and they're going to beat Indianapolis, who is kind of just a meh team at this point.
See, I just kind of think it was, I'm thinking of another way, I guess. It's just Colts at Jets. I say Colts will win. I think it was kind of a fluke thing.
I'd totally be fine with that.
Fluke thing that the Jets just kind of correlated outright with us. So.
I can see it too.
But
yeah.
I think.
I'm just taking the home team in this one.
I hear you. But I think Colts got enough in them to beat them.
Sure.
That stinks.
Go.
Oof. Seahawks at the Raiders. I'm gonna say Seahawks are gonna take this one. It's at Raiders' home, so it might be a little tough for them. But, Seahawks got enough clicking for them, and Raiders are, glad to say it, are doing worse than the Broncos. So I can see Seahawks taking it away.
After what Seattle pulled against L.A. last week, and the way that this just John Gruden experiment is completely exploding, I'm going to say Seattle is going to win that as well. Carolina at Washington. I am going to go with Carolina. Carolina's actually been pretty good. They're starting to look pretty solid right now. And Washington is actually still a pretty decent team, and they still have some good parts. It's just they're not clicking as they think. I think they were hoping with Alex Smith. So I'm going to go Carolina.
I'm going with Carolina as well. Yeah. Redskins are one of those teams where, they do really good and win, or they just kind of get shut out. So, but Carolina, they, like he said, things are clicking. Things are going good for them, so I'm going to pick them as well. Bills at Texans. This one was probably the hardest on the list to try figuring out.
Because they're both so bad.
They're both so bad, but they just come out with weird wins. Texans just got a good win off Cowboys last week. It is at Houston, and that's where I put my decision is a home team.
Same. I'm taking the home team. Same reasons. Houston. Arizona at Minnesota. Minnesota's, I think they're starting to get back on track to where they're supposed to be. Arizona is definitely still one of the worst teams in the league, regardless of their win last week. Minnesota takes this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's at Minnesota, and that's a tough place to play. And Vikings, what they have brought out last week against the Eagles, they're back on track, I believe. So they're going to come back on that, and they're going to win. Steelers at Bengals. Weird. Why did I put... in my head, I don't know why I wrote that, but I'll stick with it.
You can switch it if you think it's the other way.
No, I'm gonna stick with it. I would have not thought I had done that though. I picked the Bengals, but in my mind I really would have thought of the Steelers because Steelers do have stuff going now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's gonna be a tough game. It's a divisional game, and Bengals are doing good. Like they're one of those under the radar teams as well. So you know what? I'll stick with that one. That's kind of my upset of the week.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals too, actually. And it's basically because it's a rivalry game in Cincinnati. Those fans are going to be wild. And I think just like the momentum is going to keep rolling a little bit. It'll be a close game, tough-fought game. Bengals will eke it out. Chicago at Miami. This is actually going to be a pretty good game because they both have really good defenses. Miami's defense is clicking pretty good. It's in Miami. However, Chicago had a bye week, and Mitch Trubisky has been looking really good lately, so I'm going to take Chicago.
I'm taking Chicago. I think everything's going good for Chicago. They got the weapon they needed. Mitch Trubisky is starting to click, and I think they're going to be contenders at the end of the year.
Oh, yeah.
But Dolphins, they looked hot in the beginning. They're getting kind of squirreling down now. They're just one that they're a meh team to me, so I believe Bears will take this one. Oh, I have Denver's next, but I'll pass that. Ravens at Titans. I was kind of a tough one as well. They're both kind of throwing out good games against people, but I just have a feeling that Ravens will probably take this one. I don't know why. I don't really have much of a reason to.
Yeah.
So, Ravens.
I just know what Baltimore's capable of. They both these teams possess pretty good defenses, and it's going to be a really defensive game. But I think in the end, Baltimore's just got all the receivers that they need to make it happen. Jacksonville at Dallas. I've been talking up the Jaguars, but there's not much they can do on offense. Their defense, though, is just too much, and Dak Prescott is going to get pressure. He's probably going to throw like 2 or 3 picks. Jacksonville's going to win this one, but it's going to be close because Blake Bortles is the Blake Bortles that we are used to seeing.
Yeah, Jags. I'm going to go with the Jags as well. It was a tough performance watching them play the Chiefs, but
also because we were hoping they were going to win.
That defense of the Jags will crumble Dak, I believe, too. It is in Dallas, but gosh, there's just nothing going for Dallas. They lost the Texans.
Yeah.
So Jags it is for me. Chiefs at Pats. I never like to root for the Patriots, but I'm rooting for the Patriots. I believe Tom Brady can maybe outscore Mahomes. That Chiefs defense is all right. They had performed very well last week, but Tom Brady, if he can, he will. You pick them apart. But we'll see how the Pats defense does against the Chiefs offense.
Tell you what.
And it's at home, sorry.
If there's one person you do not want to be in a shootout with, it's Tom Brady because he finds a way to win. I think this is going to be a really, really high-scoring game. But watch that Patriots defense, man. They out of between the two defenses here are the ones that could be the big X factor that changes this game. It's in home. Patriots win. Finally knocking off the Chiefs.
That'd be great.
And then for Monday Night Football, we got 49ers at Packers. Not much of a game there. Packers are going to win because why shouldn't they? They have no reason not to.
49ers might be the worst team in the NFL ever.
And then, of course, last but not least, we have Rams at Broncos. As much as it's hard, it's hard for me
it is tough to say. Obviously, it is a biased thing we're saying.
I'll never, ever, ever root against the Broncos. And it's not that I'm rooting against them, but I'll never pick against them, man. That's my team. I'll always back them up. I will always pick the Broncos, no matter what.
Don't say we're not faithful.
If we're 0-15, I will pick them in that last game to win. I will always do it. How couldn't you? So.
Those are the picks.
That's our picks, man, and that's our show.
I went 8-7 last week. We didn't say that.
Oh yeah, we both went 8-7.
Alrighty.
But hey, that good show. Thank you for watching. Bronco fans, be loyal, be faithful, and keep watching 406 Broncos.
And love everyone.